In this video, we're going to go over the 5 critical questions I ask all my senior clients when they come in for an evaluation. And just so you know, I don't spare my parents either. I ask them the same thing. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Deboo, physical therapist from Integrated Physical Therapy in Bellingham, Washington. Whenever I see a client in the clinic who's 65 or so or older, there's 5 essential questions that I ask that I feel are critical for successful aging. I'm a numbers guy, so I really like my clients to track their steps because remember, if you don't measure something, you don't manage it. Just get some more exercise every day. No, I want to know numbers, so when someone comes in to see me, I'll say, okay, how many steps are you averaging? That way we've got something to work with. Now, 10,000 steps a day is great marketing, so if you hit 10,000 steps a day, that's great. If you look at the literature, at the minimum low end, 4,000 steps, and ideally, and this is what I like to get my clients to do, is about 7,500 steps or more per day. Now you can step count with your phone, you can step count with a watch. You don't have to have anything very fancy to track your steps, but it's critical that we track our steps. It's not perfect, but it gives us an idea of how active we are during the course of the day. And remember, exercise is like compound interest. Just a little bit every day adds up to big things at the end. One of the questions I get for people that have osteoporosis or osteopenia is walking enough to help build bone density?
So walking daily is great exercise, even if it's a little bit on the slow side. It's okay. But walking alone, unfortunately, isn't going to be enough to build bone mass. And so you really do need to strength train. But walking is great exercise, and I recommend tracking your steps daily.
The second thing I ask my clients is, how often do you get on the floor? And they're like, well, hopefully never, because if I'm on the floor, that means I've fallen. And I've tried to flip that around a little bit. I really encourage all my clients to get on the floor every single day to do some exercises and to also work on mobility, strength, flexibility, coordination, all the things that are required to get down on the floor. For many of my senior clients, the floor becomes their enemy, and you really need to make the floor your friend. Now I know what you're asking, like, well, it's easy for you to say, Ed, but I've got clients who are in their 80s and I'll ask them, okay, show me how well do you get up and down off the floor? Let's see how they do.
She's a wonderful 84 years old, lives by herself, is very independent, still drives, gets down on the floor, daily does her exercises. She also walks daily, she does Tai Chi, Pilates, and she goes to the gym 5 days a week. And look how she just sits straight up. She makes it look easy, but that is actually a lot harder to do than it appears. And she's doing absolutely wonderful. Next rock star, she's 82. Her and her husband travel the world when it's not in COVID. She gets up and down off the chair independently without using her arms. One finger to get down. She wanted to show that to me. Gets down on the floor. When she first came to me, she did an 8-second plank. She's now up to do a 2-minute plank at 82 years old. Rolls to her side, gets up, quadruped, one hand for a little support, and she gets back up again. Doing absolutely great.
And the nice thing is when you're down on the floor, you can just do some exercises, some simple mobility work. I'll put a link right up here to a simple routine that I have that you can do while you're down there on the floor that talks about some back and hip mobility and some strengthening exercises. So get on the floor daily. The next thing I ask my clients are, do you work on single leg balance? And many of them say no. If they do say yes, that's absolutely great and amazing, and I'll have them demonstrate it for me. But what I like to do is I want to see if they can balance on a single leg with good form and posture for at least 15 seconds. Because anything less than that, and they are prone to falls. And of course, we don't want to fall because all sorts of bad things happen. So I ask my clients to give me 2 minutes worth of balance training every single day. Balance training is individual based upon the person. For some people, even just standing with a narrow base of support is enough of a challenge. The thing to remember is that the success is in the failure. So what I want you to be able to do is challenge yourself so you get just to the point of failing and maybe even fail in a safe fail. Obviously, make sure that you've got something to support yourself because you don't want to fall while you're training your balance. So single leg balance is a great way to work on it. One critical aspect is that once you get your balance, I want you to practice turning your head quickly and then back to neutral. turning your head quickly, and back to neutral. Why do we do that? Imagine you're walking and you hear a loud noise or you hear someone calling your name. Reflexively, you turn your head and you want to be able to maintain your balance. 2 minutes a day, guys. The next thing I ask my clients is, do you strength train? Now, I have become the patron saint of strength training for my seniors because it is absolutely critical that we strength train to avoid what's known as sarcopenia. So we all know about osteopenia, which is the softening of the bone. But sarcopenia is basically the softening of the muscle, and it's the wasting away of muscle mass and strength as we get older. And it becomes significantly limiting. Think about not being able to get up and down out of a chair, go up a flight of stairs. These are all things that are strength related that we have to work on. Now, if you already go to the gym and you're dialed in, that's great. Continue to go to the gym. But then I've got clients who'll be like, well, I'm at home. I don't have a very big place. I don't want to spend a lot of money on equipment and things like that. Well, okay, I'll put a video right up here to an exercise link that I did that just talks about, with exercise tubing, some basic things that you can do to work your entire upper body without even having to leave your home. I've also got clients that aren't ready for tubing and they're deconditioned to a point where they might just be able to use some of the things they find at their home. So I have a book coming out in March of 2024. I'll put a link down below. You can pre-order the book right now on Amazon. But basically, it's 40 different exercises that you can do at home that require no special equipment. So you really have no excuse to not be doing some sort of strengthening exercises. Ideally, you're strengthening twice a week, but my goal would be 3 times per week of progressive overload strengthening, which means those last few repetitions are a little bit challenging to get. Not painful in the joint, but just a strain of that muscle so the signaling is enough so the muscle comes back a little bit stronger. And the fifth thing I ask my clients is, do you track your protein? And most of them say, no, I don't really track my protein. Protein as we age is critical because especially now, you're tracking your steps, so you're walking daily, you are strength training, you're getting up and down from the floor. So we really need to have protein in our diets to be able to build back tissue and help repair tissue. But how much protein do we need? Remember, I'm a numbers guy. So pick your ideal weight and times that by 0.7. So for example, if someone weighs 150 pounds, that is approximately 105 grams of protein per day. I weigh 180 pounds, and so I need about 125 grams of protein a day. And I can tell you this, on an average day, I don't hit my protein targets through food alone. Now, ideally, if you can get it all through food, that's great. But I know that I can't. So for me, I know that I don't get all of mine from food. So what I'll do is I'll supplement with a protein powder. Now you gotta be careful about the quality of the protein powder. So Elizabeth and I, all of our supplements come from Thorne. So Elizabeth and I have partnered with Thorne because we truly believe in their supplements and their products. And so we have 2 different kinds of protein powders. So this is a plant-based protein powder, and this is a whey-based protein powder. For anyone who wants to try this, I'll put a link down below and you get 20% off all your supplements if you use that link from our online dispensary. So there you have it, the 5 questions I ask all my seniors and my parents every time I see them. So if you have any questions, please leave it down below. If you found the video helpful, please consider subscribing and supporting the channel. All right, take care, keep exercising, and I will see you at the next video.